There are two challenges to this process of the rising of new global economies. One challenge is political and the other challenge is ideological. Countries, whether it's China or India or Brazil or South Africa or the European Union, are dealing with domestic problems. As my co-panelist said earlier, China is inward looking. I said all of us are inward looking at the moment. The United States is inward looking. Because we are inward looking, how are we going to respond to a changing global environment? This is a major question that world leaders have to grapple with. To be successful at home and at the same time to be active globally is a huge challenge. Very rarely have so many global leaders been called upon to do both. Typically, global leadership has gone to people who have been successful at home. But today we are dealing with countries which have huge domestic problems and at the same time are being asked to provide public goods, global public goods and global solutions. And we have seen so far we have not succeeded. Look at the way the WTO talks are stuck. Look at the way the climate change talks have happened. We have not succeeded in bridging this gap. And the WTO and climate change are two test cases, but you could have other test cases. Even the challenge of terrorism. We still live in a world where there are good terrorists and bad terrorists because we have not been able to define who are the real terrorists. What are the new ideas that will bring nations together? Are there any new ideas, or is it the same old idea of democracy that's again going to come back in some form or another? I think this is a major ideological challenge. Success cannot be defined only in terms of per capita income and how much money you take home. It has, at the end of the day, when you might take home more money, what is it that you do with that money? How do you find comfort and peace?
China was the first economy to recover from the global financial crisis, thanks to the very aggressive policy measures introduced by the Chinese leadership at the end of 2008. Just recently, we learned from the Chinese Statistical Bureau that in the first quarter of 2010, the economy continues to grow at a brisk pace of 11.9%. Underneath this very strong growth, there are some interesting things happening, which I will talk about today. And these are the important shifts that are taking place in the Chinese economy. There are three important shifts. Number one is a shift of government policy which has been ultra-expansionary in 2009 to more of a neutral stance. Number two, the government is shifting away from an extremely accommodating and supportive policy towards a country's real estate sector. They are now basically reining in some of the supportive policies to try and control asset price inflation and asset bubbles. And thirdly, we're seeing another shift underway, which is a shift from state-driven investments to more private consumption. Now, we're in the post-crisis period. The challenges facing China are different, but equally complex. The government could achieve its 8% growth target because of a unique combination, and that is the combination of unparalleled political will and extremely strong, virtually unlimited financial resources.
After crisis, we are talking often in terms of post-crisis. It means the world economy, world politics after crisis should be different from the world before crisis. And after crisis, Asian economy is much in better shape and we're beginning to lead the global economy, led by, in particular, China and India. And Indonesia this time is much in good shape. And Indonesia, I remember, was the largest victim in the last Asian financial crisis. But as for the post-crisis, well, it's just too much dependence to American overconsumption. This cannot be sustainable. And actually, too much overconsumption by American consumers they consumed more than they produced. So overconsumption of American citizens meant over imports of America. It was a benefit for exporter Asians. But this scenario is gone.